What's going on with the legend, man? What's going on with Timbo? The myth. 20 plus years in the game, man. What's going on, Timbo? Wow, man, this is insane. For everybody that's been living under a rock right now, AI has been the talk of the town for quite some time. Everybody's, running around frantic. AI is going to be taking over. AI is going to be Terminator. AI this, AI that. AI has been here for tens of years already. It's in your phone. It's in your houses. Everything is being controlled by AI. So let's not jump the gun by saying that AI is going to take over. It's only going to take over if we let it, and if we feed it the same manners that humankind has, the wickedness of mankind. But let's talk about this Timbo thing, man. Timbaland announced that he signed his first AI artist called Tata, Asian looking female, slick, dope. It looked awesome. How is AI going to take part in this whole process? And are you going to feed your own music into this AI, or are you going to use people's music that you have been reviewing for the last, 2 years? He had like a stream on Twitch where he would comment on beats and you could, pay a fee to get your beats heard by Timbo. Come on, who doesn't want feedback from Timbo? I witnessed some of the streams and some of the beats were whack, bro. But some people just contributed music, which was dope, and they get credit. They got credit from Timbaland, and who doesn't want to co-sign from Timbo? Timbo the King, man. Missy Elliott, Aaliyah, Jay-Z. Come on, man. Timbaland's legacy is by far the most dominant in being in the future with music, right? Timbaland is that guy when you want that sound to sound like it's from the future, like it's straight from an alien ship. Everybody was popping up in the Twitch streams and just sending them beats, etc., etc. And then after a year, he announces that he has this AI artist. But where is the music going to be coming from? And I think it was a content creator called Sarah Toohill. Excuse me if I mess up your name. But she posted a legitimate question, and she's like, are you going to feed AI the music that you have been streaming from other people into the AI to create Tata? Because that's the name of the AI artist. Is that what you're going to be doing? That's when things started to hey, wait a minute.
So now that we know that Timbaland has an AI artist that he just signed, did he use the music that you guys play on his live stream to train his AI?
Is Timbo being shady here with the music? I'll take you on a short history of this AI thing. You can go to Suno, enter your ideas, and Suno just spits out the whole joint. You don't have to play the guitar, you don't have to do the whole thing. You just feed it something. Someone with absolute no knowledge of music could make a song. So now the legislations are wait a minute, who produced this song? To who does this belong? And that's where everything gets in limbo. So if AI isn't a real entity, then no. Then you can register it with a PRO and collect money from it. So the whole thing is, with Timbaland, whose music are you putting into it? And that's a legitimate question. Timbaland went back and forth, and she was real smart with it. She kind of cornered him and wait a minute, big homie. This doesn't feel right what you're doing. So Timbaland was like, of course not. He got on a stream with Guru, who's also a legend, mixing engineer for Jay-Z and Beyonce, name it. He's the Yoda to me of the music industry, and has a lot of integrity, right? So people respect him, and as he came up on the stream, they were going back and forth on how this AI thing is going to be developing, because people are starting to get scared, because people are starting to think, yeah, wait a minute. I've been playing keys for like years on years on years. I was testing and doing that 10,000 hours of work to make sure that I get better at my craft, to have some 14-year-old kid say, play this beat like Robert Glasper was playing it, and add some vocals that Lauryn Hill would rap on top of that, and then take a Just Blaze kind of drum, and then boom, he would have like a song, So the conversation is like, AI is dope, but who is AI learning from? And if so, if you produce a song and you register it, who is going to benefit from that financially? So actually what Timbaland did, he signed Timbaland to Timbaland in a female kind of version. Asian female kind of version. So they're gonna get on the stream and they talk about where this AI thing is going, and Timbaland explains like, yo, this is I'm not actually signing an artist because AI isn't actually an entity. So this was all to stimulate the conversation.
We look at like, okay, the rate of change is something that people don't understand. So if you look at AI doubles in power, 5 to 7 months, doubles. Mm-hmm. So when you say, yo, my taste, it's gonna look at what your taste was. And I don't think people understand exponential, right? Mm-hmm. Versus linear.
To get to the point, right? The streaming stops and then people dig up this old, and the internet, bro, you can't hide anything from the internet. It is looming and waiting to get out. So they find this video of Timbaland mixing up a beat, and I think the caption was, Timbaland is cooking up a beat in Suno, something like that. And then the beat drops, and Timbaland is like, oh, this is baby Timbo. This is dope. And the beat knocks, and he has like this screen, and on the screen you see like other producer, and you see like this girl in medical clothes. I think she was working at the hospital, and she raps over the beat, and Timbaland is like, this is filthy. This is. But then listening to the beat, I was like, wait a minute, I heard this shit before. Isn't that K Fresh? And even in the beat, you could hear like the tag of the producer go. He reminds me of Dilla, how Dilla had that. Once you heard, it's like simple drums, but then just that feel. And Timbaland fed his beat into Suno. Suno made it into something, in my opinion, a bit generic. But you could definitely hear that it's his beat. Even the bass line, the tag that's in there, and the bounce and everything, you could definitely hear that it's his beat. So then again, bro, again, the internet is like, what's going on, Timbo? What's going on, man? That is not your beat. That is not your music. And to be honest, the era that Timbaland is from, he should have known he could never do that. He should have not taken that. And Timbaland has the skills, man. At least I think he has the skills. He used to have Neptunes in his squad. He used to have other producers that are really big time right now that are in his, that came up under his wing. So Timbaland got that sauce. He doesn't need to take somebody else's beat and put it into Suno and remix it. He could just take a Timbo beat or Timbo groove he cook up in 50 minutes and show the people, but he didn't do that. And while doing it, he didn't credit the guy. He said, Timbaland making beat. And then while the beat was played, it was like, oh, this is baby Timbo. He was, bruh, what is going on? What is going on with Timbaland, man? I'll look up to Timbo. like as a producer and MC, someone who makes beat, Timbaland is most definitely in my top 5 of greatest producers of all time. All time. Maybe even top 3. You know, with Dilla, Dre, and Timbaland. That's just undeniable. So how do you get to that point where you take someone else's beat, don't credit the producer, make content of it, post it, make a caption saying Timbaland cooks up beat and it's not your beat, and then think that nobody's going to notice that you took someone else's music? And then when people confront like the big man, he's like, yeah, but I was messing around to show you what Suno could do. Okay, that's cool. But if you take someone else's beat, credit the man. You're Timbaland, bro. A cosign for that man could change his life. When you go on that stream and say, ooh, I got this beat and his name is K Fresh. I think this is extremely dope. I'm just gonna see what Suno adds to this when I feed it into it. But shout out to K Fresh, man. This beat is dope. I do not own this beat. I just wanna, experiment. None of that, bro. The caption was Timbo makes beat. Timbo is cooking up something hot. That ain't right, bro. And then they get on a news stream and they start talking about the AI thing again. And everybody in the stream is like, you stole K Fresh beat Timbo. Why you do K Fresh that dirty? Timbo fell off. And at some point they had to address it. And then while they addressed it, they were acting like their shit don't stink. They were like, yeah, you should be happy. Timbo uses. Well, happy for what? He didn't even mention his name. If this whole thing didn't happen, if there's a whole thing about people discovering that it's actually K Fresh's beat, no one would have known. They would just, they would just think, oh, Timbaland is cooking up a beat. And the beat knocks, bro. The beat is awesome. So is Timbaland falling off? That's the big question right here. Is Timbaland running out of juice to make dope music? Is he disconnected from this generation music-wise? While I was watching the stream, I saw a more cornered Timbaland instead of someone saying, yeah, I made a mistake. I credit, K Fresh. We should have credited, but this was the whole thing. And, let me set this man up right. Yo, you could get on the phone with K Fresh and say, hey man, send me a beat pack. I know I did you dirty, but I'm gonna send some stuff to Hove and I'm gonna send some stuff to Pharrell, etc. Just hook the man up after you took his music, which is fresh to death. I understand why they took his music, because that beat on itself is like a win. It's got beats were just banging, bro. How does Timbaland get out of this? This is my opinion. To me, Timbaland is always going to be a legend. It's not like he did some stuff that he can't get back from, right? I think he should make it right with K Fresh. That's the first thing I would do as if I was Timbaland. Unfortunately, I'm not Timbaland. Both, maybe fortunately now, right now, because he's under a lot of fire. But this is what I would do. I would reach out to K Fresh, make it right, shout him out, get him on the stream, do a listening session on beats, and get the man some awesome placements. That'll be the way to get out of this situation, because right now the legacy of Timbaland is in quicksand. And the thing is that 20 years ago, this could have been swept under the rug. It would have been in some magazine. Oh, Timbaland took some beats, blah, blah, and you would only know it if you actually read the article. This day and age, man, public opinion is massive. Social media is massive. You cannot escape from this. You cannot escape from the backlash. You cannot sweep things under the rug. You cannot go into the internet and dig out the skeletons out of the closet and put them back in a jar or on the ground so people don't discover what you actually did. It's not possible. Public opinion is extremely big right now. And if you do something that's foul, the people are gonna call you on it. And this is one thing that I learned from like a legend. His name is George McCrae. I had the honor to work with him, and he said this thing that stuck with me throughout my whole career is the people are the ones that make you a legend. Once the people stop believing that you are a legend, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the accolades and the fame from your peers, but once the people itself stop believing that you are a legend, it's over.